Image and Form is most well known for their SteamWorld Dig series, but SteamWorld Quest Hand of Gilgamech proves that they can make much more of the Metroidvania type games. I'm Johniibo, and welcome to my review. SteamWorld Quest revolves around a few heroes that want to become part of a guild. However, there are dark matters at work, so they need to first take care of the threat prior to getting any recognition. Now, the SteamWorld Quest retains its steampunk aesthetic of the other SteamWorld games. However, this time the characters are based in fantasy, so there are characters like wizards and dragons. And come on, who doesn't love dragons? It's beautifully hand-drawn, and the attention to detail between the fantasy and the steampunk aspects of the characters is just impeccable. Battle music is fantastic. I loved every second of every battle. Overall, this game is visually and musically pleasing. Now, the story aspect of the game is a little light, so the main draw is the gameplay. SteamWorld Quest is a dungeon-crawling, card-based RPG with a turn-based battle system. Now, the way it works is you have a party of 3 characters. Each character has 8 cards, which totals a 24-card deck. Each card has an SP cost, which kind of works like Hearthstone, where you build up SP to perform different attacks, stronger attacks. You can use up to 3 cards per turn. You cannot run out of cards during battle, which is an awesome feature because I was worried about running out of cards all the time. You could recycle 2 cards per turn, and each character does not have to act each turn. Now, those are the basics, but as you progress and learn the mechanics, more complicated techniques will become your friend. For example, if you use 3 cards in a turn from the same character, a special attack is triggered. Each character has their own special attack. Each character has multiple weapons that have different special attacks. So you have to find out what works best for your build out, for your deck, for your party. And once you figure out the best setup, you'll be able to progress through this game fairly easily. As you progress, you find more cards and more characters. That is what I found a little overwhelming during my playthrough and in the beginning. But once I found my build out that fit my playstyle, I didn't change my deck or party 90% of the time. I didn't even use half the cards. I didn't use all the characters. So there is some replayability in that aspect because I want to go back through, try different characters, try different cards, see how differently it plays. I only lost 1 battle throughout my playthrough. My detriment was the enemy was immune to a certain type of move that I would consistently use, but once I adjusted my deck, I was able to win fairly easily. That's where this game really shines in the battle aspects. Each enemy has a different strength, has a different weakness, so you have to find the build out that is most balanced and will be able to take on any challenge. Now, I had a very balanced deck, I had a very balanced party. I had a physical attacker, I had an elemental attacker, and I also had a healer that would be able to round out any situation, and I was able to get through everything fairly easily until I encountered that one that was immune to, I believe it was immune to physical attacks, which kind of put me in a pickle. Now, for the most part, I really enjoyed my time with SteamWorld Quest. However, there were a couple things that I wanted to point out that were not that ideal. First of all, there's no way to save your favorite decks. You can only have 1 deck for each character set up at a time. If you want to change your party, your deck, you have to change it each and every single time you want to do it. Now, for example, when I lost that battle, I wanted to go back in. I had to change my deck to fit the needs of the battle. After I won the battle, I wanted to revert it back to my old deck prior to the battle. The problem with that is I couldn't remember what my old deck was, so my new deck after the battle was probably a little different than the deck prior to the battle. Allowing to have multiple decks or multiple parties saved would have alleviated this pain, and it would have also allowed for more experimentation. I did not use half the characters in the game. I did not use half the cards in the game, and this feature would have allowed me to do so. I would have maybe found a deck or a party that I enjoyed using more than the one that I use for the most of the game. I think this could be a feature that they add later in an update. I think it would be a really good feature to add. So if I had any recommendations for this game, it would be that. Allow us to save our favorite decks, our favorite parties, or even multiple decks and multiple parties. Now, I did mention that this game is a little light on story, and that's because the game itself is fairly short. Now, when you think of an RPG, You think of a game that's maybe 50 plus hours, 100 hours. Now, I wasn't expecting it to be 50 or 100 hours, but I did complete the game in 12 hours, and I thought that was a little too short. It left me wanting more. Hopefully they add more content in the future. I just want more of this game. It's a beautiful game. I loved playing through it. It just left me wanting more. Now, I'm not going to spoil the final boss, but I just want to say I did not enjoy the battle. I didn't feel like it was a strategic battle. It was more of a battle of attrition than of skill. It's the only time I felt this way. I felt all of the other battles, all the other encounters were very smart. I had to think. I had to really plan out my attack. But when I got to the final boss, it was not enjoyable. There was very little strategy. The strategy was you attack the boss attacks you. You have to heal the next turn because the boss's attacks are too strong. Now, it might have helped to grind a little bit, but I did not want to grind in the game, and I didn't grind in the game. That might have been why I only spent 12 hours in it. But I didn't want to grind, but I did have to have a ton of healing items. Luckily, I did, or I would have got wrecked by this boss. I know a lot of other RPGs have this problem where the final boss causes you so much pain, so much anguish. I just wish that it would have been a smart battle and not one of these battle of attritions. So what do I think about this game overall? I think Image and Form created another strong game in the SteamWorld series. It's not SteamWorld Dig, it's not a Metroidvania, but it is a card-based, turn-based RPG. It does not sound like it should work, but they succeeded on so many levels. It's beautifully drawn, it's well scored, it's funny, thought-provoking, and I think it's one of the best indie titles on the Nintendo Switch platform, and one of the best games to come out in 2019. So if you're looking for a game like this, if you're looking for a strategic RPG, I highly encourage you to pick it up. It is $24.99 on the eShop right now. I want to thank everybody for watching. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for more Nintendo Switch related content.